my phone is glitching the last few days since I was hacked. So I just said I'd come on real quick and see if this works, because I haven't been able to upload to TikTok. It's taken like 3 hours to get an upload on, and I was trying to go live on my Daily B page 2 days ago because I was in Beaumont. And as people know, like, that have been following me all these years, I've been in and out of hospital quite a lot my whole life, and I just wanted to like shout out like the nurses and staff there and things, because they've always taken really, really good care of me, and I always managed to get home on time to like make sure my daughter slash son is okay. I really appreciate everybody watching my updates on TikTok as well. Like I wanted to like obviously come out as gender fluid a long time ago, but I just never felt like it was the right time, and I was just kind of thrown in the deep end when I was on the radio. And I just had to come out and say what I had to say, because I don't know, I felt uncomfortable when he was like, "You're a woman." And I was like, "No, bro, I'm like gender binary." So I'm like fluid, and it's hard to explain, like, but I mean, if you get used to, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, so like it was hard for me to explain for years, like when I went to the X Factor and stuff, like they knew that's what I was. And if you go check out my 98 FM interview, you'll see like I'm dressed so boyish with a medallion on me. I'm not girly. I'm rapping to the crowd. Just comfortable with being who I was, you know. And then over the years, like I just wanted people to kind of get to know me as a person, you know, and I had great opportunities like to share who I was and what I believed in and stuff. And I never wanted to like just throw music at people either, because like, why would you buy my music or listen to my music if you don't even know who I am as a person or what I've gone through as a person? I just felt like it was like scamming, and I didn't want to do that. So I was like, right, people can get to know me more, and then when I drop my album, hopefully they will enjoy it and resonate with what I'm saying, because I know I'm not the only person who feels like they don't fit in the world. I'm rapping like since 2013, and I've been completely excluded from so many things and so many places and venues, and it was purely because I was perceived as a female. And then when they get to know me and I rap or freestyle, they'd be intimidated, and you know, I was basically told, "Oh no, you don't fit in here," or things like that. And I was like, "What?" So I've been like on my own for so long, just kind of like trucking away on this road, and no matter what happened, like I never gave up. And it's purely because like I had my daughter watching me, and then I had people who believed in me, and I knew if I gave up on myself, like all of their belief was in vain, and I didn't want that either. And I was like, right, if people believe in me and they like what I'm doing, I have to keep going. There's people out there who feel the same way I do. Like it's been so difficult to like get myself into a situation where people around me like respect me for who I am, because I just don't fit in anywhere in the world. Like I'm really my own person, and like it's been hard like dealing with life as an individual. And like the one thing I learned after my X Factor audition was that like if you want to be successful, you're going to be very lonely, and you have to be disciplined, and you have to like sacrifice quite a lot in order to get back what you really want in your life. And like I manifested by the time I was 32 to be on a global stage, and the world knew my story, and I would pave the way for my kids and future generations to find somewhere they fit in the world, because I've always felt left out and excluded. I've always felt bullied, judged, criticised, mocked, and I know I'm sitting here smiling about it, but at those times when I was going through it, I was like really sad, and I felt so lonely, and the only thing I had was pen and paper. And then I would write how I feel, and I got some of my best writing in their moments of feeling so alone and isolated. And then, as you know, like as the years went on, I had lots of break-ins, my writing would be taken, people tried to get to know my flow, my style and how I wrote. So I stopped writing for a very long time, and I just like, I knew that I could write, and I knew that I could rap, and I knew that I could sing. So I basically focused on personal development, and I had to learn really fast that like, if you want to be like a long-term artist, you have to like push away ego, and you have to push away partying, and you have to push away all these elements of like what people think being a global artist will be, and it takes years and years of like learning, and unfortunately like I went the very slow route about it, and it took me longer than I expected, because obviously I have a child, I'm on my own, I have no support with her apart from my family, and like my demo is at nearly 11k plays, and once I get 11k plays, it'll be going on sale. It was meant to go on sale before that, but there's just been a lot going on since then, so I've just been focusing on other elements. Like, I'm not here to just like throw songs and sell them and make the money. It's more about like gaining my respect off my fans, and like every single person that has supported me up until this point is real. There's no bots, didn't pay for anything. It was all organic, and it was hard to do. Like, like I'd sit there and I'd say, like, how come all these other people like are blown up and they're doing so well, and then like I'd look at them a year later and they wouldn't be doing well, and people would have forgotten them, or things like that. So I was like, right, okay, I have to like understand that like just because someone makes it so quickly doesn't mean they're gonna be sustainable. And like, I'm doing this since like 2013, and the amount of people I've met who have come and gone through the music industry in Ireland alone is just mad. Like, I mean, like they could pop off and then they start fading, they change their style and stuff like that. So like, you have to like be content and confident in who you are as a person. And my only way of doing that was by like sharing my whole life online, my bad days, my good days. I think he's all seen me have like a mental breakdown online, and then one of the DJs I know was like, oh, we'll do a collaboration, but he never got back to me about doing a collaboration, so I don't know if he put that underneath like just to whatever, but like it didn't work, it didn't happen. But I'm not really concerned about them things, because like I know what my future's gonna hold, and I know where I'm headed, and the people I've met have really like, they've really put their faith in me, do you know what I mean? They know that I'm insurable, and I've a good head on my shoulders, and like I've no interest in parties, I've no interest in drugs, smoke a few cigarettes, trying to quit them as well, because if I don't quit them and it affects my voice, I won't keep my contract. There's just so many elements you wouldn't even think about, and like, it's great. I do see people online, like TikTokers and stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, they blew up on TikTok, but now they're going to be known as a TikToker, and that's it. Like, like, you have to figure out whether you just want fame, or likes and views, or if you actually want a long-term career. Like, when I'm 60, I want to be able to say, I'm here where I am because I waited for the right time, and I didn't like put the horse before the carriage, if you get me. Like, I built it all from the ground up, so when it's like all put into place, I done that. It's mine, and all the people who helped me get there have their little pieces in the making, do you know what I mean? And yeah, like, it's been a mad crazy road, and like, I think the main thing is to just stay true to yourself. Like, if you listen to my demo, there's quite a lot in that demo. Like, I only made the one demo because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to represent. Like, I wasn't really sure how I wanted the world to see me, like, because I was still only like getting to know myself at that time, and I lost a really good friend of mine, and like, that will forever like impact me, because they were learning to play the decks, and I was meant to like record songs, and they were going to mix them, and like we had this like really big ambition and goal, and I knew this person ever since I was like 13, 14, like from secondary school, and like it's just when you lose someone who is like so important to your life purpose and also had such a big impact on you growing up, it fucks your head up, and that really fucked my head up. And like the last thing they said to me was, "I'm dying to hear your demo," and then they were dead a week later. So head gone, and it took me a long time to recover and heal from that. And there's still nights I go to bed and I'm bawling my eyes out crying because like this person knew me inside and out. They never judged me, and I could always like take their opinion and like not feel judged or criticised, because they done it in a way that like really motivated me and supported me, and I've never found that since, which sucks. And as you know, I've no brothers and sisters. Like I'm on my own, and like I don't really have anybody to like bounce off of and say, "Oh, what do you think of that writing?" or "Should I put that online?" or And then there was like times I wanted to go online and do certain things, and I'd be around the wrong people, and they didn't want me to go online, or they didn't want to be seen online. Like, and then they wanted their own narrative of who I was in my life without letting me do that for myself publicly. So I've gone through so much, like, and I have to say, like, every level up did not come without sacrifice. Like, if people saw how I was living right now, they'd be like, "What is going on?" You know what I mean? And it's okay, because I know this is only temporary, and material things do not matter to me whatsoever. I really don't care about material things at all. I care about things that have sentimental value, and I care about things that like maybe have been passed down through generations, or I care about health and safety and security and respect and empathy and compassion, and like it's just it's not something that you see like regularly in the music industry. And that's how I knew from the day I walked into a boardroom and I met like so many different people from so many different places. They were like, "We have been looking for someone like you for so long, and it's going to take this amount of years, and this is going to have to happen, and if you get through it, you get through it, and you'll come out swinging the other side." And so many times I nearly broke from being homeless multiple times and everything that went on. Like it nearly broke me as a human being. And instead of letting it break me, it made me, and it made me stronger. And I guess like the whole role that I was given was to show people that no matter who you are, where you come from, or what you go through, if you do not give up, you can make your dreams come true. And it depends what your dream is. Like my dream was always to like motivate and inspire people, and all I really knew how to do was sing and dance and act. I've tried to get multiple normal jobs, they never last. I had a job there not so long ago, and there'd be so many people outside where I was working, and I went out for a smoke and they were asking me to rap and sing and things like that. So I just bring a lot of attention to places when I'm there, and I just don't think anybody wants me really like working for them. Like, I mean, yeah, it helps their business and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm not there to be like put on display either, like. So I've accepted that I'll probably never have a normal job, which sucks because it would be very handy to have a normal job. But my career is in this industry, and like, don't fake it till you make it, because that's not how it works. Like, just be yourself, be original, do what you have to do, share your ups and share your downs, and never see anything as a competition, because like your story and someone else's story have completely different chapters, a completely different ending, a completely different start. Like nobody has the same experiences in life, and that's what makes certain people so valuable to society. I've met a lot of people who've come and gone in the industry as well, who have been given a certain amount of credit and they let it go to their heads, and before they know it, like they lose what's going to happen next for them, because they got so in their head about, "Oh, I'm deadly, whatever, blah blah." But my main disciplinary in this whole situation was, I was ignored. And when you're ignored, you work harder. And when you're ignored, you also are being trained to learn to be humble as well. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah, so like, I mean, if I was doing everything I was doing and I was getting all this credit and all this attention, it would have blew my head off before I was even ready to step on a global stage. And I would have thought I was better than people. I would have thought I was the business. I would have thought this, that, and the other. And it would have just completely destroyed who I was and everything that I learned about who I am as a person and what life means to me, because I let things go to my head. And one thing I will say is, when you let a certain thing go to your head, you will be humbled real quick. Because God, like, I believe in God. I'm a massive believer in God. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for God and everything that He managed to carry me through. And like, all I can really say is never make a deal with the devil, because eventually your time's up and you've a sell-by date. But if you go by God's plan, He will carry you through everything that the devil throws at you, and He will make sure you get to where you need to go, because you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for God, and you're also doing it for other people. And from everything that I've gone through and everything that I've learned that you're better to be alone when you're trying to do something, and if you're trying to accomplish something that stands long term. Like, the biggest thing that I've had to deal with is never having privacy. And I shared so much online, and people would be saying, oh, well, like, I mean, if you share so much online, why would you want privacy? Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, it's a different kind of privacy. So, like, I had to be very selective with, like, who I allowed into my life, the friends that I had. Even the people that I dated, like, they let me down and disappointed me so dramatically, because they knew what I was trying to do and they knew what I was trying to build, and just for a bit of clout and attention, they would just go around and gossip about me, make up lies, whatever. And then, like, I went through stages of, like, having to, like, relearn who I was, from a head injury to people breaking into my gaffs and taking my writing and other things like that as well. And I had to always, like, reboot. And I think, like, from every reboot that I went through, I came back stronger and wiser. And no matter, like, how big I will ever get, I will always remain humble and remember where I came from and take care of the people who took care of me. And, like, I accept anybody out there. I've never once in my life not accepted someone unless they've made me feel like they didn't accept me and I had to change. So I would treat them how they treated me, and then they wouldn't like it, and then I'd look like the big bad guy. But at the end of the day, if someone's throwing something at you and you don't think that's right, throw it back at them. And if they act like there's something wrong, say, well, you shouldn't have done it to me. So thanks for all your support. You can keep up to date with my TikToks. I'll talk more about, like, who I am, why I do what I do. You can go back and find me on YouTube from years ago. You can find me in different places, just in the background, hidden, just doing my own little thing. Because, like, at the end of the day, I wanted a career. Didn't care about fame, didn't care about views, didn't care about likes. I just wanted to show people that no matter what I went through, I didn't give up. And I had a tough hand in life when it came to my parents and, like, other things. And eventually, like, I will talk about that, and I'll get to write my book and share that with the world. But for right now, I'm so happy where I am. I'm very content in my life. I've done the things to make myself secure. The next step is, like, debuting, and I've put this off for, like, 2-3 years, because I was with someone and I wanted them to be a part of my debut, and they couldn't understand what I was trying to do, which is fair enough, like, and I don't, like, blame anybody for anything. I learnt my lessons and I came out the other side recovered, and I'm very lucky. And I really just want to share my knowledge and my wisdom with the world, from how the music industry works to how you should treat people. Like, I never wanted people to think, like, I felt better than anyone else, because that was never the way it was. I never felt better than anyone else. If anything, I felt invisible and I felt ignored. So I pushed and I worked harder. And the harder I pushed and the more I worked, the more I got ignored by certain elements of the music industry, but the more higher ups paid attention to me. And like people in good places or high places paid attention to me. And that was really the day that I realised it didn't matter who didn't accept me, because the right people will. So whoever you are or wherever you're from, don't be afraid to be yourself. Because I was for a very long time. And I noticed that even though I was afraid to tell people, look, I'm non-binary, this is how I am. I mean, there were subtle hints over the years. Obviously, like if you go onto my Instagram, you'll see it says they, them, or if you go back into my past on YouTube or other places, you can find me, and you'll see I'm there, but I'm in tracksuits, runners, like I'm not all dolled up. I just never really felt comfortable with that aspect of myself as a feminine, because I was raised by so many males, and like a lot of males impacted who I was as a person. Yeah, so I don't know really why I came on to have a chat, but I just felt like coming on and having a chat. So I'm having problems with like logging into my Instagram, my TikTok and things like that. So I apologise if I can't get my updates to you the way I want to. But other than that, like, I mean, social media is just social media. It's not who you are as a person. It just is a place to record certain parts of your life and certain chapters of your life. And it's kind of sad to say that there's parts of my life that I never shared because I felt like I would not be accepted, which really sucks. Because the one thing I always wanted to do was show people it's okay to be yourself. And I was even too afraid to be myself because I already felt invisible and ignored and overlooked. And, you know, when it came to being a rapper in an Irish industry, I got slated by so many male rappers who thought they were better than me, or who thought that I couldn't sing or I couldn't rap, or, you know, I was a nobody. And then they looked into me and then they come back and they say, God, I didn't know, like, this is who you were, or that's what you done, or that's who you know. And I'd say, yeah, and you treated me like shit, so that's not a good way to start your career. And it's not a good way to start any career. Like, if you get a new job tomorrow, you don't just assume anything about anybody because you don't know who they are, if they're the manager, the owner, the CEO. Treat everybody with the same respect. And over the last 2 years, I've actually interviewed a lot of people. Not a lot, like, but I've interviewed a couple of people that I thought had like really big potential to also represent Ireland on a grand scale, and I was disappointed, and so were other people who I like said, here, look, I have faith in these, and then they were caught talking shit about me, making up stories, and it was like, nah, we can't have them. Like, we know who you are, we don't know who they are. And, you know, like, nobody would really even be paying attention to this person if it wasn't for you, and things like that. And, you know, like, I just sit in the background. Like, I don't really want to be out in front, if you know what I mean. But like, I never wanted to be out in front. Like, I always wanted to have like a rap group and like build a team and a family, but it never worked that way for me. Obviously, God heard things that I didn't hear that was said about me, and he was like, no, this is a solo mission, and I'll send you the right people to you because you need them more than other people. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. And just remember that you're important. No matter if you feel like you're not, you are important. You were you for a reason. So don't let anybody else dim your shine.